watch Super Tuesday on CNN, had it live here. Amazing.
Joe Biden staging a recovery.
Astonishing recovery. I mean, this is Lazarus stuff. So dead and buried last week. Within 72 hours, as Van Jones, a CNN commentator, put it, he went from joke to juggernaut and is now the runaway favourite to be the Democrat nominee to take on Donald Trump.
Can he beat Donald Trump, though?
Well, he's going to, first of all, beat Bernie Sanders. So you have the kind of Corbyn-like figure, Bernie Sanders, who has this very, very rampaging number of left-wing people following him, big rallies, big passion. You can see him there. He says, I'm going to win it. I reckon it'll come down to Bernie v. Biden, and it's going to run probably all the way to the convention.
So Michael Bloomberg's hope, the former mayor of New York, his hope that he would come in at the last minute, spend big...
Well, in a way, what he did...
And earn himself the nomination.
To be fair to Bloomberg, so he looked at the whole scenario and he genuinely feared that a socialist, rather like Jeremy Corbyn here, in Bernie Sanders, was going to be the runaway candidate to be nominee. And he thought that Joe Biden was finished. Everybody else thought that. And that's why he jumped in the race. In a way, when Biden had this huge win in Carolina 4 days ago, it changed the whole dynamic of the race, because then there was no point in jumping in. So Bloomberg has spent $500 million. He was spending 10 to 1 what Biden was spending in places like Massachusetts and places like that, and he still lost.
You can't buy the nomination.
Biden had very little ground game, very little money spent, very little advertising, but still won in states where he hadn't even been. So an amazing turnaround for Biden. And of course, what Biden does have as his trump card, no pun intended, is he, of course, was Barack Obama's vice president. Obama's kept out of all this, waiting for the right moment. But I think you can pretty well bet your life that very soon Obama and Michelle Obama, who I think is almost an even bigger electoral pull than her husband, I think they're going to jump in behind their old mate.
But the problem with that is they just appeal to the same people. And I think if you've got to beat Trump, you've got to appeal to different people.
But the trouble is...
You've got to appeal to the people who don't want Trump again.
Yeah, that's what they really...
might be a bigger
the reason that all the other moderates pulled out. So you have Buttigieg. When we finally got to pronounce his name
pronounce his name.
Yes, I know.
He quits. It's typical, isn't it? And Klobuchar and all these others.
You could just call him Mayor Pete and get away with it.
Amy Klobuchar and all those. They all pulled out dramatically in the last sort of 2 days and rallied behind Biden because they could see that a socialist was likely to win the nomination. And I don't think any of them thought a socialist could win. No. It would have been exactly like here, where it sounds a great idea until you actually go to the ballot box. And there's no way Americans are going to vote.
Nobody's ready for that.
No, especially with the economy.
When it comes to their pockets.
But here's the sort of interesting question, which is how much is coronavirus going to come into play in the American election? Because Trump's big trump card has always been the performance of the economy, which is currently tanking all over America. Will it tank so much it damages him? Will it tank and then rebound in time for the election, which actually is a more likely trajectory of these things? How bad is coronavirus going to be? How much of an impact is it going to be that they don't have a socialised medical system like we do? How many...
And there's lots of people who won't go to the doctors to get tested because it's too expensive.
Too expensive.
Yeah.
So it's very interesting what's going on in America. Very interesting unanswerables at the moment, but it looks likely, I would say likely now, that Joe Biden is likely to have come back from the dead.
Our chief correspondent, Richard Gaisford, caught up
Well, he put a very good question to him,
overnight.
and Biden wasn't happy, was he?
Mr. Biden, what do you say to people who say that you're going to be a beneficiary of a coup against Bernie Sanders?
I say I answer stupid questions.
I think he said I answer stupid questions.
He answers stupid questions by saying they're stupid questions.
He doesn't like that question because there is a mounting belief amongst the Bernie Sanders brigade that actually this is a Democrat coup to stop him.
Well, wasn't there a Warren beats Bernie? Also, there was something trending, wasn't it, about everybody who's been backing Elizabeth Warren? They're begging her to pull out and then to now back Bernie Sanders, so they're pushing.
What I did love is Biden put out this on Twitter, which is Joe Mentum. Look at this. This is on his Twitter feed. Fantastic. Joe Mentum.
Well, he's finally got some. I ain't dead. I'm not gonna.
You know, he's a remarkable guy, Joe Biden. For those who don't know much about his story...
How old is he, 78? Or is he...
He's late 70s, yeah, 77, I think. He was about to become a senator in his... I think he was just 30. And his first wife and his baby daughter were killed in a terrible car crash. And he actually went on to become a senator very soon after that, showing, I think, extraordinary resilience. And then he was flirting with running for the presidency last time when his beloved son, Beau, who I knew very well, actually, used to come on my CNN show a lot, when he died of brain cancer in his mid-40s. And Beau was a handsome, great guy, been a state's attorney, a top lawyer.
He was a potential presidential candidate himself,
no question. He'd been a war hero and so on. And Biden, again, has come back from that. So he's got to his position now where he's the front runner to be the nominee to run for president, having been through so much tragedy. And I do think that kind of tragedy, happening several times in someone's life, it's got to give you, I think, a natural empathy, which I think Biden has with people.
Gives you a humanity, doesn't it?
A humanity.
A sense of humanity.
And a sense of perspective.
And people love you and support you.
Yeah.
So he's a man of depth. He's an interesting character. He makes a lot of mistakes, a lot of gaffes. I mean, yesterday was hilarious.
He mixed up his wife and his sister.
He had his wife and his sister and actually didn't realise which one was on which side and introduced his wife as his sister and his sister as his wife, which was not great. But that's...
I'll say something about certain states in America. I won't go there.
Do not go there.
Don't go there.
You can, I'm not.
But as you say, he's been through so much, it does humanise him, you know...
I think our question about him, though, is he just the reset life in America to what it was before Trump?
Yes.
Right, let's erase Trump from the history of American...
I think he's the calm-down candidate.
Yeah.
He's the one that... Basically, the Trump presidency has been governed by just 24/7... from everybody, right? From his supporters, from his opponents, from the media, from everybody. It's a relentless, exhaustive thing, isn't it?
Joe Biden's anti-rat.
I think Biden is your calm, let's all calm everything down, guy. Now, whether that's enough to beat Trump, I still think if the economy is in good shape by the time it gets to November, I think Trump will be very hard to beat.
But a couple of months of coronavirus could reset the economy,
Well, exactly,
of course.
yeah.